Yo guys, how is everybody doing? Welcome in to Rover Sports, and today we are going to talk about the New York Jets. Their first game is Jets-Buffalo Bills. This game is going to be in a week. So this game is going to be at Bills Stadium out there in Rochester, New York. And it's going to be a 1 o'clock game between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. And I'm going to tell you everything that I expect to happen in this football game. Everybody, thank you for watching my channel. And here we go. So we have Josh Allen on the Buffalo Bills. When you look at this Buffalo Bills team and this offense, for some reason, they decided to cut Duke Williams. Duke Williams single-handedly was able to win. He was able to beat the Tennessee Titans all by himself last year. They also let go of Robert Foster. So clearly the Buffalo Bills have a lot of faith in Gabriel Davis and Stephon Diggs. The Buffalo Bills have kept a congruent coaching staff. They have Ken Dorsey. They're able to retain Brian Daboll. So the Bills get a home game against the New York Jets, and this is very similar to last year's game, Darnold versus Josh Allen. Last year, Josh Allen and the Bills in the first half of that game, Josh Allen and the Bills offense was absolutely atrociously pure dog shit last year in New York. They were down 16-0 throughout the game. Josh Allen handed C.J. Mosley a pick six right on a silver platter. Brian Daboll lost all of his brain cells throughout the first quarter. He forgot that running the football was a legal football play and a legal football maneuver. And still, the Buffalo Bills ended up defeating the New York Jets last year. You could say that Sam had mono at that time. Le'Veon Bell looked slow. And all reports from Jets camp this year is that the Jets have looked really shitty in practice. Okay, LaMichael Pirine had a 75-yard run on them in the scrimmage. I don't trust the New York Jets to go on the road and win this football game. I can't even count on my one hand how many games Sam Darnold has ever won on the road in his life in the NFL. How many games has Sam Darnold won on the road in his career in the National Football League? I don't know. I haven't done the research yet. In fact, I'll do it right now. The point is about Sam Darnold is that, yes, he had that game against the Dallas Cowboys where he hit that one throw to Robbie Anderson. Newsflash, the Jets don't have Robbie Anderson. The Jets are breaking in this year a new safety to replace Jamal Adams. The Jets are breaking in a brand new receiver in Denzel Mims. The Jets are breaking in all these new pieces and players. If we go back to the 2019 Jets season with Sam Darnold lost. He lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road last year. And they sucked last year, the Jaguars. He lost to the Dolphins on the road last year. And the Dolphins suck. I'm not going to say that the Dolphins were somehow good because the New York Giants hired Patrick Graham and because they beat the Patriots in Week 17. I think Tom Brady wanted to get the hell out of New England, and that's the only reason why the Patriots, Tom Brady probably quit that damn game last year. He just didn't care. So the odds of Sam Darnold bringing the New York Jets into Buffalo and winning the game, I'd say is about a 10% chance of happening. 90% chance the Bills win this game. Maybe even 8%. I would take the Bills in this game to win on the money line 92% out of the time. I don't trust Sam Darnold and Adam Gase to go up to Buffalo and win a game. Now, what does help Sam Darnold is that there's no fans in Buffalo. And the Buffalo Bills, the Bills Mafia, that is a massive, massive NFL fan base. That is one of the best fan bases in the National Football League. So the fact that they won't be at the game is really Bush League, and it sucks for football this year that there's not going to be any fans at the game. This whole 2020 year sucks. Coronavirus. And there will be an asterisk on the champion this year because some teams have an advantage with fans, some teams don't. Fans are a beautiful part of the game. That's why I'm speaking mostly to fans. I doubt any executives are watching this video right now. But I know that it sucks, but at least there's football to be discussed. And who's a better football team, the Jets or the Buffalo Bills? I'm taking the Bills, and I'm telling you why. The Bills have a better coach. Sean McDermott is a much better coach than Adam Gase. Sean McDermott's not an elite coach. He's a good coach. He's never going to be an elite coach. He's never going to constantly bring the Bills to Super Bowls. He might win a Super Bowl. He might get to one Super Bowl like a John Fox did in Carolina. That's kind of like what McDermott will be, like a John Fox. Okay, hopefully a better version of Jeff Fisher for the Tennessee Titans. He'll have some good years. He'll win, he'll get you a bye. I think Josh Allen and Sean McDermott together, they're going to get a couple of byes in their careers. But looking at Adam Gase, I think Adam Gase, if he didn't have Joe Douglas, he would just about be fired. I mean, Joe Douglas has done a spectacular job. Joe Douglas is a pro. You don't have to have any experience to be a terrific general manager. Joe Douglas did have really good prior experience not being a general manager, but being involved with the Ravens and the Eagles and other organizations. And then as a first-time GM, he crushed the NFL draft. I mean, I'm really curious to see how this kid, actually this safety out of Cal, does. I forget his name, but it was an interesting draft pick by Adam Gase. He also selected, I think, Zuniga. Now, I'm not sure if they cut Zuniga just like Ja'Kai Polite, but, Denzel Mims, too, he's a skyscraping kind of wide receiver. He's a big guy. Is he going to be better than Hakeem Butler is going to be? We'll see. I think he should be. But Denzel Mims is a talent. He can move. He's fluid. He didn't have terrific quarterback play at Baylor. He had all right quarterback play. And let's see if Denzel Mims can make some plays in this game. But again, you're going up against Trey White, one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. And now if you look at last year, you look at last year's games, the Browns killed the Jets, and that was, Sam Darnold wasn't there for that game. The Patriots, Sam Darnold, came back, and that was an awful game, his worst of his career. Then he lost to the Jags and the Dolphins. He did beat the Giants at home. He played solid in that game, as good as Darnold can play with his dink and dunk style. I will give him credit. He did go on the road and beat the Redskins. He did do that. He shat the bed against the Cincinnati Bengals on the road. He had a wonderful game against the Raiders. But again, then with the Ravens, a loss. Steelers late. They barely won that game again. And then with the Jets. So he actually finished a little bit better. But again, his only road win came at a team, the Washington Redskins. And the Redskins were... the Redskins got the second pick in the draft. They are one of the worst teams in the NFL, the Redskins. So let's look at Sam Darnold in 2018 on the road. How did the 2018 Jets fare? Let's go back and look at this, okay? So Sam Darnold, he did win against Detroit on the road. So he beat the Lions, a team that didn't make the playoffs, and he beat the Cincinnati Bengals. But he won those games on the road. Then I believe that he got hurt. Did he play the Denver Broncos? I'm not really sure. I even forget if he ended up playing these teams. Oh boy. Was he in there against the Broncos? Yes, he was. He was in there against the Broncos. I think he also had a spectacular game against the Colts, right? That's when he got rolling. And then again, McCown came in. Davis Webb was on this roster as well. But Sam Darnold in his career, he basically only has 2 wins on the road in his entire lifetime in the NFL. And those 2 games on the road are against absolutely awful, awful teams. So, that's kind of what you're dealing with here, okay? So the New York Jets, they're not mature enough to get a win on the road. They're not. They have Brashad Perriman. They have all of these wide receivers that have never played. The offensive line, they're bringing in a brand new rookie tackle that is going to be going up against Jerry Hughes, that is going to be going up against really, really talented players. So you're bringing in a rookie tackle. This offensive line absolutely is a dumpster fire. You have Le'Veon Bell, conflicting reports. Does he like the head coach? Does he not like the head coach? Here's the thing in this game. The defenses are always at an advantage early in the season, specifically Greg Williams' defense to just hit the living shit out of you. Greg Williams, he doesn't care. He'll throw his players to the wolves. They have very intense, good training camps usually. So, in this scenario, I do not believe Josh Allen is going to light up the Jets in this scenario. I'd be very surprised if the Bills put up 35 points. But I believe the Bills, this game's going to be, in the first half, it's going to be very, very ugly. Kind of like how the Bills beat the Redskins last year. It's going to be like 16-9. Like Buffalo's going to be winning at the break like 16-9. You might get a big throw to John Brown. Maybe in the second half, Stephon Diggs. I think Josh Allen will throw in this game for about 210 yards. Josh Allen will be like maybe 16 for like 24, 220 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, that sort of game. And the Bills in this game are probably going to win this game. They're going to put up like maybe 23 points, and the Jets are going to put up like 15 points. And they might win by like 8. Maybe the Jets will get like a late score to bring it within 1 possession. I think the line for this game in Vegas will be the Bills will be favored by 5.5. And that line could go up to 6 if I were to guess before this matchup. And I think that the Bills are going to find a way to win because the Bills are still working in Singletary. Now, Singletary is going to be better. But again, you have Josh Allen. You're just bringing in Stephon Diggs. I think Diggs will have 1 or 2 big plays in this game, but he's not going to be all that consistent in this game. He's going to have to rely on the guys like Cole Beasley, Dawson Knox, and John Brown. Those are the type of guys that you got to rely on, not the rookies and not Stephon Diggs. These guys have never played a game together. Josh Allen, there's no fans, so you're going to have to get accustomed, again, to a Bills stadium with no fans. Now, the weather's probably going to be pretty good. And again, I really think that Sam Darnold on the road, I'd be very surprised if he's formidable for this Bills defense. The key for the New York Jets to win this game is Sam Darnold cannot turn the ball over. The Jets have to be crisp defensively. Do not give up big plays. If they somehow establish Le'Veon Bell and they somehow can convert some 3rd and 4s, they could keep the Bills kind of off the field, make it a low possession game. That's what you want when you go to another stadium to play football, even though there are 0 fans in attendance at this football field. And I do think the game will be in distance, but I don't think Sam Darnold is capable of making a big enough play because he doesn't have the arm strength to change a game in like one particular play. If the Jets had a dynamic quarterback like a Deshaun Watson, absolutely the Jets would have a chance in this game, combined with their coaches, combined with the overhaul of the roster, not having Jamal Adams to go on the road with you. This is just a weak kind of Jets roster. It really is. And Adam Gase is lucky that Joe Douglas is doing this. And I don't think that Jets fans expect to win. I think this year the Bills, with Jarrett Stidham kind of getting injured, I believe, okay, I believe that that in this game right here, I think that the Bills are going to end up winning this game, and I think the Bills are going to win the division. They're going to win the AFC East. They're going to win the AFC East this year. That's what I see going on. But I'm picking the Bills 23-15. Kind of a low-scoring game. I guess that's 38 on the total. The total's probably going to be around 42 or 43 points in this contest. And once again, I don't believe Darnold's getting it done on the road. Now let's just review the Jets roster here. So they got George Font. He sucked in Seattle. Chris Herndon's a good player. He's going to be very important in this game. He's a good tight end. He ended up getting hurt last year. He made some unbelievable plays. It says they got Wesco out of Wisconsin, I believe. It says they got him at fullback, which is pretty interesting. You got Frank Gore in the backfield. Frank Gore knows the Buffalo Bills system, so that is going to be an impact for the Jets. You got Chris Hogan from New England. So he's going to, again, you're going to have to rely on Crowder. And Hogan's played. He's kind of a veteran. Denzel Mims got to get on the field, but the Bills defense should absolutely take care of him. Then you got to rely, this is the second year for a guy that you drafted number 2 overall. Quinnen Williams has to have a much bigger season. He definitely does, but you look at Terrell Basham, who was a flame out in Indianapolis. You have Blake Cashman, Avery Williamson's kind of old, Jordan Jenkins. So you got, this defense is just kind of old. It's kind of lacking some pop. Got Marcus May, Marcus May is a pretty good player. I really like Brian Poole. I think Poole can actually be one of your cornerbacks. And then it says you got Quincy Wilson, Arthur Millette, Pierre Desir. So it's a very thin cornerback field. And then I guess Bryce Hall might be so injured that I don't know how he's going to recover from an ACL tear. But that's a good pick. That could be like Michael Porter Jr., that kind of draft pick. But once again, I mentioned for the Jets, Herndon's going to have to play big, because Darnold needs tight ends. He's got a weak arm. He's going to need the tight ends in this game, if he's going to be any good in this spot. But again, I don't think Sam Darnold has the balls to go in the Buffalo and win, even without nobody being there. I don't think that Adam Gase has the mental fortitude. I don't think the Jets are cohesive enough to beat a really cohesive, unit and team in Buffalo. And now just looking at the Bills roster once again, familiarizing myself with the Bills. I'm gonna show you guys kind of the Bills roster here. And then we're gonna stop the vid. But again, I got 23-15 Buffalo. Very, very ugly game. I would not bet it. I would not bet the Bills. What is it? -5.5, 6. Like I predicted. I would not do that. In this game, I mentioned Dawson Knox. I mentioned, the running backs here like Singletary. Zach Moss is a rookie. He's going to get carries in the game. I know he's a rookie, but, rookie running backs can come on in and they know how to run the football. AJ Epinesa, Jerry Hughes, Mario Addison from Carolina as a wily veteran in his mid-30s. You also got Ed Oliver. You cleared all the charges out there. Josh Norman's going to be playing his first game, kind of a good game to kind of slip him into. So again, I really like this Bills team. This is a Bills team that can go 11-5. This is a Bills team that could possibly go 12-4 in the AFC East. I'd say 11-5, winning the AFC East, a third seed. Again, the Bills possibly could get a bye in the playoffs. That's how damn good this team is. And I think the Bills, honestly, at worst, are going to be in the divisional round of the playoffs. And I see the Bills at least being in the divisional round this year. I see the Buffalo Bills probably playing Kansas City, probably losing to them in Arrowhead. But I see them beating the Patriots actually in the AFC East. I actually, for the first time in a very long time, am going to pick the Buffalo Bills to win the AFC East. And they're going to start off here with a win, 23-15. They're going to control Darnold. It's not going to be a blowout. It's going to be an ugly, ugly football game. Both teams will be rusty. Brian Dable, Josh Allen will be rusty. The offense will be rusty. But the Bills will get it done on the defensive side of the football. 23-15, Buffalo gets the W. Thank you guys for watching.